I never thought embarrassment could feel like a knife. But the moment Claire's words left her lips, slicing through the air like broken glass, I realized she wasn't joking. We were sitting in her apartment, her phone buzzing non-stop with notifications. She was scrolling, smiling at something her friends had sent in their exclusive group chat. When I leaned closer and asked, "So, am I finally going to meet them this weekend? You've been talking about this party for months." She froze. Then, almost casually, she muttered, "I'm not introducing you to my wealthy friends, Ryan. You're too embarrassing." I blinked, as though my ears had misfired. Embarrassing. The woman I loved. The woman I planned to marry. The woman I thought saw me for more than my salary or the car I drove, looked me in the eye and said I wasn't good enough. Claire and I had been together for 3 years. I met her at the bookstore cafe where I worked part-time after getting laid off. She was the type of customer who stood out. Elegant, confident, the kind of woman who drew eyes without even trying. Somehow she noticed me. She laughed at my dry jokes, asked me about the book I was reading, and for a while I felt like I'd won the lottery. We started dating and I tried my best to keep up with her lifestyle. She came from a wealthy family, mingled with people who wore luxury like skin. I, on the other hand, was rebuilding, working a steady IT job, saving up for graduate school, driving an old Civic with more rust than paint. But she never seemed to mind. Or so I thought. The engagement came last spring. I scraped together every penny for the ring, not the biggest stone, but one I thought symbolized our love. She cried when I proposed. Real tears, I was sure of it. I thought love had triumphed over status. Till now. Her tone was dismissive, as though she was doing me a favor by being blunt. You don't fit in, Ryan. They're doctors, entrepreneurs, investors. You wouldn't know what to say to them. It's better if you just don't come. I felt something inside me fracture. Don't fit in. Was I her partner or her charity project? "Claire," I said quietly, my throat dry. "I'm not some clown you have to hide. I'm your fiancée." She sighed, rolling her eyes. "Don't be so dramatic. Love you. But they wouldn't understand us. You'd feel out of place. Honestly. You'd make me look bad. Make her look bad." The words clung to me like oil, suffocating. That night I lay awake in my apartment, staring at the ceiling, listening to the hum of traffic outside. I thought about every moment we'd shared. Her laugh, her kisses, the way she'd curl against me when she was tired. But now each memory felt tainted. Had she ever really been proud of me? Or had she always been calculating, weighing whether I measured up? I tried to rationalize. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe she didn't mean it that way. But deep down something ugly stirred, suspicion. Because lately she'd been distant, secretive, guarding her phone like it was a state secret. Her weekends were suddenly filled with networking events I wasn't invited to. She came home smelling of expensive cologne that wasn't mine. My stomach twisted. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. But the human heart knows when something is wrong. 2 weeks later, Claire had another friend's dinner. I decided not to confront her directly. I needed proof, not paranoia. So I drove to the restaurant she mentioned, parked across the street. My hands shook on the steering wheel as I watched couples stream inside. Then I saw her. Claire, radiant in a black dress I'd never seen before. But she wasn't alone. A tall man with slicked back hair and a tailored suit had his hand on her lower back, guiding her inside. I told myself maybe he was just a colleague. Maybe it was innocent. But when she laughed at something he whispered, tilting her head in that intimate way I knew too well, my chest caved in. I didn't go inside. I just sat there until my eyes burned, the city lights blurring through tears I refused to let fall. The next day I couldn't focus at work. My mind replayed the scene like a cruel loop. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her Instagram. Her profile was private, but her friends weren't careful. One tag led me to another, and there it was. A photo. Claire at a rooftop party. A glass of champagne in her hand. That same man's arm draped casually around her shoulders. And the caption, "Power couple vibes." The world spun. My chest tightened. It wasn't just betrayal. It was mockery. She hadn't just hidden me, she'd replaced me. That evening I went to her apartment. She opened the door, all smiles, as if nothing was wrong. "Ryan. Hey, I was just about to call you." I pushed past her, my voice shaking. "Who is he, Claire?" Her face froze. For a split second, guilt flickered in her eyes. Then she recovered, folding her arms. "You're overreacting. He's just a friend. A friend who puts his arm around you. A friend you parade around at parties while I sit at home. Don't lie to me." Her jaw clenched. "Fine. His name's Daniel. He's more on my level. My friends like him. He understands the life I live." I staggered back as though she'd struck me. "And me? What am I, Claire?" "Practice until someone better came along." She hesitated. Then coldly, "You're safe, comfortable. But you're not enough for the world I want." The final nail. I left without another word. My legs carried me down the hall, out of the building, into the night air that stung my lungs. Not enough. Not enough. The phrase pulsed like a drumbeat in my skull. I thought of the ring still on her finger, the promises we'd made, the future I'd built in my head. All ashes now. But beneath the heartbreak, something else stirred. Anger. Not the wild, destructive kind, but a steady flame. I had given her my love, my loyalty, my dreams. She had spat on all of it. If she thought I was embarrassing, I'd show her just how wrong she was. The next week I pulled away completely. No calls, no texts. I focused on myself. My job, my health, my friends who had been waiting on the sidelines while I orbited her world. But I didn't stay idle. I gathered everything. Screenshots of her posts, messages where she brushed me off for work, the receipts of nights she claimed she was home but wasn't. And then one evening I went to her parents' house. They'd always liked me, treated me like family. Her mother hugged me at the door, unaware of the storm. When we sat down I laid it all out. The truth about their daughter. The man she'd been flaunting. The way she'd humiliated me. Her father's face turned gray. Her mother wept. I didn't stay long. I wasn't there for vengeance. I was there for closure. It didn't take long for the whispers to spread. Her friends who once applauded her power couple vibes, now muttered about her disloyalty. Daniel, it turned out, wasn't single. He had a girlfriend who was less forgiving than me. Within weeks, Claire's perfect image cracked. The parties dried up. The invitations stopped. Her circle closed ranks, and she was left standing outside. Meanwhile I moved forward. I enrolled in graduate school, bought a newer car, rebuilt the pieces of myself she had tried to diminish. Months later, I ran into her at a cafe. She looked smaller somehow, her eyes shadowed. "Ryan," she whispered, almost pleading. "Can we talk?" I studied her. The woman I once adored. The woman who called me embarrassing. "There's nothing left to say, Claire," I said quietly. "You chose your world. I wasn't in it." She reached for my hand, but I pulled back. For the first time I felt no anger, no longing, just freedom. I walked away, the weight lifting from my chest with every step. Love is supposed to build you up, not tear you down. Claire taught me that sometimes the people we trust most can wound us the deepest. But she also taught me something else. My worth was never hers to define. And as I closed the door on that chapter, I realized, being embarrassing was better than being hollow. 'Cause at least I still had my soul.